Karen Nickel joins us. Good morning, Karen Nickel.
Good morning. How are you, McGraw?
Great. You are Just Moms. Tell us about that organization that you started.
So Just Moms started as a result of the issues occurring at the Bridgeton Westlake landfill. Set out to find answers and truth about exposures and contaminations and then around the landfill, trying to protect our kids.
Now, you're also involved with the Coldwater Creek stuff too, right?
My connection with the Coldwater Creek is that I did grow up in North County. I played in that park, St. Finn Park, that they're recently finding radioactive contamination, as well as I lived in the neighborhood and, the homes that they're finding radioactive waste in the backyards. I am sick. I have systemic lupus, and I learned about Coldwater Creek just a few years ago, and from learning about Coldwater Creek, I also learned that I was now raising my own children about 1.5 miles away from the Westlake landfill.
Sure.
So I am advocating for Coldwater Creek as well, being that I grew up there and that I'm sick.
Gotcha. The website is justmoms.com?
It is, justmoms.com. It's actually justmomsstl.com.
Gotcha. And more on Facebook as well. Karen, how is there a correlation? Is there evidence, I should say, of a correlation between your condition and what was buried at Coldwater Creek where you grew up and played?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out. A group of alumni from a Florissant High School started a social media page to gather information about illnesses. They created a survey monkey, and they've been collecting data for almost 5 years now. And what they did was they found that there are a lot of people in North County that are sick, and they were able to take that information to St. Louis County Health and Missouri Department of Senior Services and Health, and they were able to determine that, there could be a problem. So they are now investigating, and it's being turned over, or actually working in collaborative efforts with ATSDR now.
Forgive me, you said you have lupus. Is that a form of cancer, and or do you not have some type of other cancer?
Lupus is actually an autoimmune disease, and one of which we are finding a lot of in North County. And I don't know how much you know about the Fernald, Ohio site. We often refer to that as our sister site. They do have a cohort study that they have done, and they have found that systemic lupus, is being tied with exposure to uranium.
Where is that other site? Where is that sister site you're talking about?
It's in Fernald, Ohio.
Is that, where is that near? Is that north, south, east, or west? Is that near a major city?
I'm not exactly sure the location. I think it is very close to Cincinnati.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Karen, what do you want people to know?
I want people to know that today there is a meeting being held by ATSDR, which is the Agency for Toxic Substance and Disease Registry. And what they're doing is they're wanting to hear your story. If you're sick and you grew up in North County, or your loved ones have, they want to know, what your connection is to Coldwater Creek and what your illnesses are. Like myself, it's too late for me. I'm already, contaminated, already exposed and sick. But what we really want is for people to know that, you still have a voice, and we need to talk with ATSDR, get our information out there, and we need to find out a way that we can expedite this cleanup in North County, because as you know, they are cleaning up North County, Coldwater Creek, and other sites. So what we need to expedite this process. It's a snail process. It goes very slowly, and we have a lot of sick people out there.
Karen, anecdotally, do you think that you contacted lupus because you played in that creek as a kid?
I have to kind of believe that. And I say that because after going back through social media a couple of years ago, I did go back and find that there were 4 other women within just a few house radius that also have lupus. And I just think it's too coincidental. I think the one thing that we had in common was we lived directly downwind from the Laddie Avenue site, And we were all exposed from Coldwater Creek. It flooded into our neighborhood repeatedly. We played in the park every day. So I do believe that there's some correlation to the exposure to radioactive waste.
We should say that they are trucking that waste out, and it's taking them, and it's going to take them 20 years to move all of that nuclear waste out. And Coldwater Creek basically ceases to exist now, right?
Well, they are moving it out, and it's being taken out by train. There have been no incidences of issues with that transportation of moving the waste out there. But it's a slow process, and
but I mean, your home doesn't exist anymore. Your childhood home, no one lives there anymore.
Oh yes. There are people still living in the homes.
There are.
That they're finding radioactive waste in their backyards, and I believe the next phase is to maybe start testing inside those homes. Yes, there are lots of people living in homes, and a lot of children still playing in Coldwater Creek. There are no signs up that say "Stay out radioactive." It's life as usual, and it's a sad situation. And there are so many people out there that have no idea or haven't put it together that their rare cancer or illness isn't so rare when you start looking at the data.
Karen Nickel, that website for people to find out more.
You can actually go to Coldwater Creek Just the Facts Facebook page, or you can also go to the cdc.gov info page, and you can find information through there. The meeting is from 2 to 8 today. It's an open house forum, and it is at the St. Louis County Library Jamestown branch on Lindbergh and Florissant.
Karen Nickel, good luck. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, McGraw.
You got
Bye.
it. It's 826, Big 550, KTRS.